When I was 11, I saw a picture of a man and a horse, a man Nuno Oliveira on his horse. And the picture was of such beauty that it would inspire me for the rest of my life. And that picture showed a man that was beautiful and a horse that was beautiful. But more than that, it showed something that I call the beauty in the space. There was something about the space between this man and the horse that was incredible, phenomenal, fascinating, alluring, so beautiful. And it was so powerful that my entire life has really been about answering one question. Answering the question, not answering one question, but about understanding one thing. And that is that space, the beauty in that space. My life has been pursuing the questions of what made that space so beautiful? What is beauty? And why do we universally desire that particular type of beauty so much that it moves us to tears? What is it about it? Humanity has been on a very interesting journey. All journeys are interesting. But humans, the way that I look at the world, not everybody looks at it this way, but the way that I look at it, humans were much more like the rest of the animal world long, long ago. And animals are always changing, adapting, evolving, and they develop better and better survival mechanisms. And we have many, as humans, we have many survival mechanisms, but our newest one is the mind, the conscious mind. And as that newer survival mechanism, the conscious mind, came more and more into being, part of that journey was us separating a lot from our physical presence, our physical being. And along that way, we developed this story. So that mind, young, immature, and separated from the body, is quite a fearful thing. It devolves into fear very easily. And so we developed this narrative of man against nature. That's how it feels to a disconnected mind, man against nature. And right now, energy always moves in cycles. And the energy of humanity is on a precipice right now. I think everybody would agree with that. It's at the point in the cycle, it's at an inflection point, a point where something has to change, right? And it will change. There will be an inflection, some direction. And I believe that what has led to this current precipice, what has led us to this point that will be an inflection point, is really the mistaken narrative of man against nature. That narrative, that concept manifests as survival of the fittest, and its two most egregious corollaries, which are dominance, and the germ theory, both of which you are seeing playing out to an extreme point right now in the history of, in the time of humanity, which is very interesting to me. So we need to relook at energy. I guess the precipice that we're at is forcing us to look at energy. And that's because the narrative of man against nature is not how energy works. And so that is really coming to a head right now. The three tremendous misconceptions that I just talked about are so deeply ingrained and have been so widely accepted that you probably make assumptions about them every single day without even realizing that. They underpin everything that we do and everything that we think about food, about health, about science, about politics, about psychology, about dog training, about everything in life is underpinned with this theme of man against nature, showing up as survival of the fittest, dominance, germ theory, things like the big things like that. And these have been put forth as settled science, and they are not settled science by any stretch of the imagination. They are settled politically, or they have been in the past settled politically. They are not settled scientifically or energetically. They became settled science politically because humanity has the survival mechanism of the mind, which is young and immature and easily devolves into fear. And fearful people want control. It gives them, they want power. It gives them the illusion of control. And these three theories of life, theories of humanity, all had very important opposing theories. And even the scientists and philosopher scientists who posed those theories knew that they were theories, and they knew that the theories had holes. But then they got adopted by people needing control to give them a false sense of power. And they got adopted and spread like a virus throughout everything, all of society, all of humanity, at least in the Western world. I can't speak much for the Eastern world. To the point where people now think that they are settled science. But everything that we know now, and even things that we feel as we have become better at introspection, everything that we've learned from epigenetics and new observations of wolves and the microbiome and all these things, they all fly completely in the face of these dominant theories that have become accepted as fact and integrated into all of human life. So all of them are a flawed view of the flow of energy. Energy is the universal language. It's the universal language of all of life. And the energetics of behavior, what I call the energetics of behavior, is the transfer of energy between things, animate and inanimate. And it is the playground of our new thinking. Science is not settled. Science, the science of life, the science of humanity, the big questions of life are a place for curiosity and a place for playfulness. And if we look with different eyes, if we look at if we look at life as transfers of energy, all of life as everything as transfers of energy, that provides an amazing playground to start understanding things in a vastly different way than we ever have before. And this is the difference between man against nature, survival of the fittest, dominance, germ theory. Those are all what I call ugly power. They're what an immature, fearful mind seeks, latches onto, versus the picture so deeply etched in my mind of Nuno and his horse, which was 100% beautiful power. And beautiful power is the power that comes when we understand and live in alignment with the flow of energy instead of against the flow of energy. So it's crucial for the world to start understanding the energetics of behavior so that we can change the energy. We can change all these millions of ties that we have to the old way of thinking that do not work because they're not correct, and start re-understanding everything about our life via this new lens of the energetics of behavior. Horses willingly join with human beings because of our capacity to change the energy. Hello, Diane. They willingly join with us because humans uniquely can choose to stay or become grounded under almost any circumstance. And that is free will. That is the definition of free will. It's the only free will we have. So horses join with us because of our capacity to choose to be grounded. And any animal that joins with us becomes infinitely more powerful because of that. Our other great power, the power of humanity, is our capacity to integrate vast amounts of information on a conceptual level. Because we can do it conceptually, we can take information from one thing and apply it to a seemingly completely different thing that actually has an amazing amount of sameness to it, because it's all energy, the universal language. And our capacity to be integrators conceptually is incredibly powerful. We have been taught, part of the survival of the fittest, the man against nature narrative, has taught us that we are the most powerful being because we wield the power of the gun. We wield the power of ultimate force. And there is a lot of truth in that, because you can cause almost anything to become ungrounded with such a great power. But we have greater power than that. Two of them. And that is the free will to choose to be grounded, the choice to ground, and the capacity for integrating anything. So I call the energetics of behavior the integration of everything, and the intersection of science and beauty, another integration. So the point in time that we are at right now the inflection point of energy is going to change. And we need to change it into the place of viewing the world through the lens of energetics, so that we can create clean, free-moving, beautiful energy, the beauty in the space that I saw in Nuno. Humans right now need to take their rightful place in the nature's energy flow system. We need to take our rightful place as the great integrators who can remain grounded. That is our role. That is what we're here to do. That's how we contribute to nature's energetic flow. And it is time for us to step into that fully. And what I am doing with the energetics, and what I'm really going to focus on now, especially given the precipice that we have come to, is helping both professional and citizen scientists, health practitioners, and thought leaders to look at the world with different eyes. To look through the lens of the energetics of behavior, the universal language of life. And through that, I will give them the tools and challenge them to ask better questions, to find better solutions, and to develop beautiful power. Because this is what is going to change the world. The leader is the one who changes the energy. So the leaders of a beautiful world need to be looking through the lens of the energetics of behavior. And as more and more of us join together and do that in powerful, powerful ways, like Joe bringing together this amazing group, the more quickly we'll be able to do that. I'm going to talk about that later today, quorum sensing. You've heard that potentially in terms of bacteria, but there's quorum sensing going on in humanity right now. And we need to become the bigger quorum, more strongly sensed. So if this resonates with you and you want to learn more about it, I'm going to be doing lots and lots of video. I don't want to call it training, just sparking of ideas, sparking of new thinking, throwing out possibilities of different solutions that I arrive at from different questions. I'm going to be putting those out there a lot. And you can find that on my Facebook page, formerly Sherry Miller Horse Dancer, which is now Look with Different Eyes, the energetics of behavior. And I also have compiled all my past videos on the energetics, and then I'll put all my new videos on YouTube channel, the energetics of behavior. So it's going to be very exciting to start putting out a path for a new story, a narrative, new answers, new energy. And I'm really excited to be here in this group with all of you, and I hope that you're excited to learn more about this too. Thank you for watching.